Good morning and welcome to Comics and Coffee with Cliff. And look, we have Shane from 1063 Comics. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm super happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this because I originally kind of met you through the Comic Vet show, and I love that whole thing. I just have such a good time. And so when you asked me about this, I'm like, yeah, for sure, I'm in.
It is. I have such a great time too. Plus, I love tall Canadians. And thank you. We had to change up the schedule, so thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
You know, you were originally my guest for next week. Now I'm searching for a guest for next week. So if any of you out there have yet to make an appearance on the show, let me know. And if you're trying to make a recurring appearance on the show, you got to bring a friend. You got to bring a friend. But I am actually thinking of that. I am actually thinking of scheduling return appearances, but pairing the return appearances.
Oh, that would be good.
So I would very much like that to happen. Good morning, JSS Brooklyn. Bleeker. Good morning, Reverend. And John's Comics for Kids. I think I can think of a few friends. There you go, John. I knew I could count on you. You know, we got to cut through. We got to cut through everything out there. We got to cut through the controversies. We got to cut through the madness. You know, we got to cut to the community and the engagement. All right, Shane. For those who don't quite know you yet, which if you have not gone to check out Shane's channel, his channel is in the description as well as his Instagram. He's got great reviews, shorts covering books that he's picked up, slabs he's picked up, a little history on each one. He's got a great channel, so please go check his stuff out if you haven't yet. And of course, you can usually see him on the Comic Book channel on Wednesdays for the New Comic Book Day live show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and sometimes I'm there too. So Shane, what was the first comic that made you want to get into comics?
Oh my goodness. So I think it was probably, I remember Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's 238. It was the run with Tarantula and Willow the Wisp. I have it just 10 feet away from me. I always keep it out. And it's not the original one from then, but I remember being in the store and I was there with my grandfather and just kind of looking at it. And he was very kind. And he's like, well, hey, do you want to get that? Because I was at his house, I think. And he picked it up for me. And I just always loved that cover, like the mutated tarantula and stuff on it.
Nice. Why am I? Okay, I know what it is. I know it's in the 200s, right?
Yeah. Here, I'll grab it. It'll just take a second.
Okay. I was like flaking for a second, but I'm familiar. It's after the Clone Saga. Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Roscoe. Good morning, Phil.
It's this set of them here. So that was one of them.
Okay, hold on.
And that was the other one. And then it was this one is the one I saw in the store.
Wow.
So 234. Just was cool art and I love comic books even before that. And I've just, always been lucky that I've been around a LCS that, before they were called LCSs, I guess. So absolutely. I've had like a pull list since I've been 14, pretty much.
Oh my God, if I have like a pull list since I was like 12, it goes back.
Yeah.
There's a couple of low points where I took a break or I took a load off, but yeah.
Yeah, I had similar, like when I was in school, I didn't have a job and I had to go into the shop and I felt bad and had to take a break but I never left them hanging. Like I would go in sometimes and it would be so long between when I went, it would be like a full long box of books, but I always squared up with them. And then when I did have to take a break, I would pay for everything and just say, you know what, like I gotta I don't have any money to eat. So
Yeah, no, I've been there. So I might be there again. You know,
I'm gonna have some caffeine too, because I don't drink coffee.
there you go. I was there when it was like when the books were $2.99. I might be there again now that the books are $4.99, $5.99, all sorts of stuff.
Well, I remember being in the store the week Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 came out and looking at it and just going, what is this? Who is going to buy this?
How is this going to take off to be one of the most pronounced and popular things of all time?
I said the same thing about texting too. When texting first came out, I had one of those phones where you had to, I don't know if you remember back.
Yeah, hit the phone, hit the number on to make the words. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, who is ever going to do this instead of just calling somebody? This is ridiculous.
I know, but then you Canadians came out with the BlackBerry.
I know.
You know, and that little keyboard revolutionized things, you know.
Yep.
And then Americans we hate not being there. So Steve Jobs is like, no, I'm gonna make a touch screen. Here we go.
Take that, Canada.
Take that, Canada. You know, and you guys were like, we're not gonna fall behind. We have a new model. But then y'all got real stupid. I don't know what BlackBerry got real dumb. BlackBerry was doing great, and then they missed out on multiple marketing campaigns. They had the worst Super Bowl commercial I'd ever seen. I was devastated. I would have, if I were BlackBerry, I would have called up Justin Bieber and be like, Bieber, how many free phones do you want for you and your friends? How many free phones? We're gonna send them all to you. Go everywhere with your BlackBerry, everywhere and anywhere with your BlackBerry, and please and everything. You want to know what's funny? Do you want to know the very last model of BlackBerry I saw in media ever? Season 1 of the spinoff of Sex and the City. And just like that, the only person in season 1 to own a BlackBerry, and it was the latest model, and it was Carrie. And then when they returned for season 2, everybody had an Apple phone. Everybody, But I knew it. No, suck it, Canada. No, Kingdom of Nerds. Don't try to kick them when we're down. That's not how we do this. Okay, that's not what Michelle Obama would want from us. That's not what Jimmy Carter would want from us. That's what all the other who don't do anything would want from us. All right. Enjoy the Dark Ages, Eastern Seaboard. Thank you. Yes, the Dark Ages are a wonderful thing. Tony from Comicverse. Good morning, my friend. He's going to be on Only Slabs today at 2:30 p.m.
Nice.
Eastern Standard Time. He finally has his slabs ready. I can't wait. We are losing this year. That's right. Digger Jim in the house. Good morning. If you have next week on New Comic Book Day in the Council of Comics, you will see the surprise AOK package that Jim sent to the comic shop for Green Shirt Guy that nobody was expecting. Hey, it's my co-hosting Cliff. Hello. Technically, it's your overall co-host and your Comic-Con runaround guy, which we haven't done in a while. We gotta do that again. My favorite person from Canada, Mama Bear. Shout out to Mama Bear. Mike, love you too. Lurking and listening, running errands. All right, and we're caught back up. All right, sir, that was your first question. And that was excellent. Amazing Spider-Man, bringing people in. I love it.
The good old spinner rack.
Oh, I know, man. I know. And it's so funny because, like, my first genuine spinner rack experience is Action Comics, and it's Superman versus, I believe, Captain Strong, who's a knockoff of Popeye, right? And some sea hag is, like, controlling Superman to fight Captain Strong. And of course, that's the DC Comics Captain Strong. There's also Captain Strong from Asia, I think it's the Philippines, right? It's like Captain Strong, Lasty Man, and Darna are among their characters. With Darna being so much like Shazam and Wonder Woman that she's the most popular face of those foreign characters here in the States. It's
so interesting how it's those weird mashups that seem to attract new readers. Like I loved Marvel Team Up and the What If books and all that weird kind of mashups, and even DC. Like I remember Superman, like the whole it was later with the Byrne era, but with Joker, and I just thought it was cool. Any weird mashup like that.
Yeah, Joker tried to gas him. You know, back when Superman wasn't at his peak Omega levels.
Yeah.
And good morning to you, Izzy. Good morning, sir. And I'm glad Izzy is here because it was a good reminder to do my shout outs this morning. Which let's start off with for a shout out to the channel members. Old Wolf 65, Mr. Spock, Wayne Deacon, Hello Humans, Pocan Joe Comic Review, Gene Mallow, Heroes for Hire Comic Book Club, 23 Munch, Chris the Comic Vet, Taylor Winder, KBDM, Mama Bear Doll, Mark Spector Comics, 1063 Comics, Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics, Wellbore, Ben Compton, 2 Megatherion, Stixboy73, Comiverse, Omnibo, The Council of Comics, Anachronic Comics, Mad Spidey, DJ Lynx, S182, Brian LCS, Dr. Von Hoots Comics from the Spiral Dimension, Still 35 Cents, and Dr. Doom's Fan Club. Thank you all. And actually, let me make sure that okay, good. The wheel is looking good, everybody. The wheel's looking good for later. We'll do that more towards the end. But while we're here, let me begin the shout outs. We're going to start with 1063 himself. Go check out his channel. Look at you at 3.76 thousand subscribers. Who said that shorts don't work? I don't know, but they do.
Listen, I want to say right now that the only reason that channel is doing as well as it is because I live really close to Bleecker. Great guy. I went to his place and because he was pressing some of my books and we had great talk. I love talking with Bleecker. And I was just starting my channel. I had less than 100 subscribers and hardly any videos. And he's like, you know, man, you got to do some shorts. I think shorts is where it's at. And then the first time I was on with the Comic Vet, I remember I had less than 400, I think. And this is just luck, patience, and hard work. It just,
Absolutely.
every time I check it, it's up by another 20. I don't know what's going on, but thank you to everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Listen, you're doing great stuff, and it's well appreciated. And speaking of great stuff, John's Comics with Kids gifted 5 memberships to Cliff One Comics. So very much appreciated, which means all of you will be entered. The 5 of you who received them will be entered into the February giveaway. All right, so that means we've got Nerdy Geek, welcome aboard, Collecting with Durs, Double Down Slots, Rad Art and Comics, and Double Low, I like that. Welcome aboard, really appreciate it. All right, and let's find something special to honor this. So thank you, John. I really appreciate it.
I got to get better at those videos. I don't know how to do that yet.
Hey, you're really good at patience, man. So it's going to happen for you. And speaking of, it's continuing our line of shout outs. Go show some love to Old Wolf 65. He's at 631 subscribers. He's got many videos with his live show Trainwrecks where he just invites his friends on and we just have a great drink and chit chat, you know, or he too has got a few shorts about some of the stuff that he's collecting and interested in, you know. So does he have playlists? He's got one playlist for Storytime. Storytime needs to come back, man. You only got 7 videos. So go check out Old Wolf 65. Go show him some love. Also, Nerdy Musings podcast. They're available on Podbean. They're on Apple Podcasts, and they're new to they're still new to YouTube, so go check them out. They're at 126 subscribers. They've got great stuff. Look, I was recently a guest. You've got Big B McFly. You have Lunch Money Comics has been on there. Clara Meath was on there. Amazing episode. Just great stuff. Go check it out. Look at Cheddar Comics. Look at Mon Comics there. There's Mike from Lunch Money Comics. Go check them out. Go show them some love at Nerdy Musings Podcast. And show some love to our good friend Izzy at Izzyverse NYC. He's got shorts, he's got lives, he's got videos, he's got retrospectives. He's explaining comic book creators and comic book history to you and telling you what you can check out to read legally for free online. Go share your love with Izzyverse NYC. And of course, don't forget my brothers in arms over at the Council of Comics, where we are live 3 times a week, Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern with new keys and hot comics, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern with New Comic Book Day Live, and we're giving away ducks 3 nights a week, so you can be entered into the greatest monthly comic book giveaway box that I know of on YouTube. Because we cannot compete with Rob. What Rob does weekly, we cannot compete. So I don't want to compete. Also, there's a new show coming February 6th. That's this week. Fill in the blanks, drawing Absolute Superman #1 on blank covers with C. Bizzle and Green Shirt Guy. You got to check it out. I think it's going to be great. And of course, we're looking for that show to expand soon. So keep your eyes peeled and maybe recommend some guests to us. And of course, speaking of my friends at the Council of Comics, I will be remiss if we don't talk about Couching and Slouching with C. Bizzle. He's at 485 subscribers. Let's get him to 500. He's got videos galore covering his comic book reviews, his comic book picks, his comic book wish list, his comic book everything. And he's got several shorts too, focusing on his picks of the week and his love of comics. So please go share your love with C. Bizzle. Check out C. Bizzle, the Council of Comics, Nerdy Musings, Old Wolf, and 1063. And thank you, everybody, for your support. It is appreciated.
Okay, now you can have a breath.
Fill and the blanks was my high school band. I love it. Good morning, Brother John's Comics. Great to see you here. Congrats to the gifted members. Yes, indeed. Oh, look at that. Wow. I wasn't even here and got a membership. Right on, dude. That's it. That's beautiful. Okay, so moving right along. I did have a list of questions for you. What did I do with it? What is your biggest comic book collecting regret?
Oh, that is a good question. I guess for the most part, if I had to pick one specific thing, probably ratios, buying ratios. Because I've spent a lot of money on them. Because instead of putting the money towards a bigger single book, because I don't know how it is with you, but so if my store gets a 1 in 25, for example, like the 1 in 25 Monsters 3,
yes,
they were selling at $50. So it doesn't come out as cover, and I know most places probably do that. So in my CLZ, I tag all the ratios so I can quickly see how many I have, and I probably have about 200 ratios of 1 in 25 or whatever they are, and probably only about 4 or 5 of them have actually increased in value to the point where it'd be worth selling them. And most of the time, the 1 in 25 or ratios, the covers aren't really that great. It's more of the scarcity of the book.
Yeah, because there are many ratios, many 1 in 10s, 1 in 25s, 1 in 50s that I've seen go for $10 or less.
Yeah.
Right? Because ultimately, people just didn't care.
Yeah.
Right?
It just
but although the Mark Spears ones seem to be doing well at the moment.
Yeah, and that was, that's kind of an exception. Like I have the, I think it's a Catwoman issue. It's a Hughes cover with Catwoman and Harley on the cover, maybe. It's like a Polaroid. I can't remember the number right now. But it's a ratio, and it's gone up. Like it's worth a couple $100 US. So ratios to me, like if you love comics, and you're kind of have your foot into the speculation thing, ratios are kind of a way to get into that kind of area of comics. And I think I spent a little bit too much time on that a few years ago instead of saving money and buying, a more important book.
I hear you on that, and I really try to be that. Good morning, Lando, over at Black Crown Comics. Go check out Black Crown Comics. He has an amazing Sunday night show, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and now he's the host for Lord of the Long Box over there at Cover Price. So please go check that out as well. So congrats to him. Lady F is in the house. Good morning. That's so's a mic I not use.
Oh, yes. Thank you. You're right.
Eddie from the Batcave. Good morning. Spawn ratios are usually hot sales. Well, those spawn ratios are actually usually pretty good. We gotta remember something that a lot of us say, and that Rob is famous for saying: collect what you love. Yeah. And we get real distracted real fast in this community. And it's easy because there's a lot of excitement. And it's not like we don't love multiple things, Like I love Spider-Man. I love X-Men. But I really love, like, my roots in comics are Superman, right? Yeah. So, I've decided that for my collecting goals in this year, I'm focusing on the Superman family. I'm gonna put some Superman love into collecting this year. And, I made the decision long before anyone gave a crap about the movie. And now the movie is hurting my decision.
Yes.
Can you speculation?
That's it, right? I always seem to find my way back to Superman. I have multiple runs, probably starting with the Man of Steel. That was the one that I really started to pick up because Byrne was so hot then. And I remember that book coming out and it just looked great and the art was awesome. And then, I got away from it for a bit. Then I came back for, the Jim Lee era, and I love that. And I'm loving the current run. I love reading it. It's so good. So it just seems that after, some amount of issues, I'm just like, okay, well, this is enough now.
Listen, I can't disagree. I cannot disagree. All right, I got 2 more questions for you, and then we're going to move into our first segment. So do you have a white whale that you are still hunting for?
Oh, definitely. So my goal this year is to kind of, ideally, I have from Uncanny X-Men 94 to whatever it is, 544, 541. I'm only missing 13 issues. Ooh. And they're the most, it's 94 to 100 and then a few after that. So the white whale, though, would be a giant size X-Men #1. That's kind of, what I would spend a little bit of money on.
Oh, I have faith in you. And guess what? Since it's clearly a Superman year and there's no X-Men film on the horizon, yes. This is your moment. Get in there, big guy. You got this.
Thank you.
And I kind of lied. I know the police origins of 1063. But you need. Could you share with our audience the origin of 1063?
Sure. So it's funny because I was doing a little behind the scenes live stream and someone asked, so I explained it there. But so what happened was the long version, shorter of this is, police use a whole bunch of different codes. Everybody knows 10-4. That's a common one, right? Like that's just, if you watch Smokey and the Bandit, you know that one. But there's all kinds of them, and so 1063 means that a person is wanted. So if you were being talked about, if you and I were partners and we didn't want the person beside us to know we were talking about them, then we would say that, oh, they're wanted, so that we would know, oh, hey, they have a warrant for them or whatever. So it kind of started with that. And I do music as well. So before I did this, I had an idea for music. So it's also the name of any music I do. It's like 1063 kind of band type thing. And then when I was looking for something for comics, I'm like, you know what? I can just use that too. It's cool. I like it. So, and it just sounded right when I added the comics to it. So that's kind of where it's from. And I did reach out to, because there is somebody online that's 360 Comics, who
Oh,
ironically is, I think in Burlington or something like that, which is about 40 minutes from me. And I
shout
just,
out to more Canadians.
yeah, I reached out to him on Instagram and just like, hey, this is what, this is obviously what I'm calling myself, but I'm just starting. So if you think it's a big deal or you got a problem with it, like I can figure out something else. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's okay. No problem. So that's where it came from.
Right
And
on.
then came with that.
Love it.
I don't know. I'm biased. I think it sounds cool. So
listen, I think it sounds cool. I think listen, ever since you explained it the other night, and apparently Mark was the one who asked the question. So ever since you explained it the other night, I love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Man, I said it was like only 2 more questions, but I have a few. Okay, no, this is the last one. This will be the last one.
What's the most? Many as you want, Cliff. Ask as many as you want.
Oh no, because I want to do like steady movement. What's the most underrated comic run that more people should have read or be reading?
Oh, I'm gonna go deep cut on you on this one because it's one that I personally love, but that I don't think anybody knows about. And it was 18 or 19 issues, and it was Electric Warrior, a DC book by Doug Monik. I'm not sure how to say his name for sure. I read that when it came out, and I thought it was awesome. I thought the story was so good. It's very kind of Terminator-esque, but different. And I just thought it was really cool. And I just lent it to somebody the other day, and I was looking through the covers, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember this. And the funny thing about it was I remember Dark Knight Returns #1 came out, and Electric Warrior 1 and 2 were out at the same time. And I had Dark Knight Returns 1 in my hand, and I put it back because I'm like, oh, I can buy 2 issues instead of just buying this one. So I bought those 2.
We've all had those struggles.
Yes.
We've all had those struggles. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. So let me just keep up with the chat really quick. Fable, 1 collection down. Good morning. Great Comics Curing Cancer special last night. Good job. You and your buddies really pulled through. Sorry I had to do the rewatch very early this morning, but it was as I was setting up shop in my basement this morning. It was a wonderful listen and watch, and great job again. I am sorry that I was not feeling well last night and I failed miserably in participating.
They did a great job last night. I really did. Same as you. I was doing a few things around, so I just had it on listening to it. Yeah, awesome work for sure.
Absolutely. Also, good morning to Trev, who I think I missed you earlier. And of course, we got to say hello to Eddie. All right, we're caught up. And so therefore, that is bringing us to and we're 28 minutes in. Ooh. All right, maybe the 29-minute mark. 29-minute mark, and it's going to be time for me to look up things that I'm missing. Oh, there we go. There we go. The comic of the week.
This is awesome, Cliff. I love it. I'm having so much fun.
I'm glad. I love it too. So I'm gonna be a little bit different with my comic of the week, but I'm really I like when a new book shows up and it captivates me and I'm enjoying the ride. And that comic that I'm enjoying the ride on is Hellhunters.
I just read that issue last night.
Right, and wrong screen. And but yeah, like I really like this book. I love that they've introduced Wolverine. I love that this storytelling can tell us new stories with characters who we already know, and it doesn't have to blow our minds or savagely alter continuity. Like they're where they should be in the timeline anyway, and just now we're just getting new information, and it's not hurting anything. We're just having a good time.
I'm loving Ghost Rider 1944 too.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a cool character.
A great character who just showed up in the Incredible Hulk one day,
Yeah.
you know, and like really having a good time. Really having a good time. All right, so yeah, highly recommend it as usual. Johnson is doing phenomenal work on the writing. Phenomenal. So highly recommend, folks. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Cliff is a little hell hunter. Why, thank you. Thank you. Ooh, you have the purple rain. The purple rain Batgirl is a great variant. Great variant. All right, Shane, your turn for the comic of the week, sir.
Let's see. So, you know, I was thinking about it, and strictly on the cover, I got to go with X-Men number 10. I've really been liking this. I'm very critical of my X-Men books now because there's so many. Yeah. I will just not get them in my pull list anymore because it's just so many of them. And I've really been liking this run so far. So I've been looking for. I like the art, like, you know, I love the panel layout of it. It looks really good. The story's been good. I'm waiting to see what they do with the whole Xavier storyline in this one. And this was just the
manhunt.
A win for me. It had good cover. I like the story. I like the interiors. It almost covers all the bases. So that's my pick of the week.
That's because I am really struggling with that X-Men title because I'm really struggling with the art.
Of X-Men itself or overall?
Overall, Storm is knocking it out of the park left and right. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the art. And then the other X-Men books, either the art is good and the story's bad, or the story's okay, but the art is bad. And I can't remember. And like, it's okay, but like the art isn't really strong. And then like this one, I'm struggling with the art too. And, you know,
I always say, like, when I do
there's a lot to like in it, Lady Fantastic, in the Uncanny. There's a lot to like in it, but there's some issues. There's some issues. But again, art is also about storytelling and movement. Like, if I liked the book more overall, but it's falling a little flat for me, but maybe because I was so into the Krakoa age.
Yeah.
And now we've done such a hard left turn that I'm just like, I haven't recuperated yet.
Yeah. And so my problem with the whole thing was there was so much going on in different titles and so many characters. Like, that whole event happened, and I was like, what? Like, how did this? What happened? And then I can't keep track of, like, or for a while I couldn't keep track of who was alive, who was dead, and all that. But
there were maps, dude. There were maps. I loved it. There were little maps, including, even though we watched Jean Grey die, it still said in the little map, it still said presence unknown, right? And I was like, yes, you know.
And I'm really liking it. Have you been reading Phoenix?
Yeah, of course, Phoenix. Yes, you know.
I really like that one. That's good.
I love that she's
videos, like, you know, I look at the small panels like this one, and then look, and if you can look at it and there's actually some detail there, like in that panel I showed, like there's stuff going on in the background. You got Zorn down there, helmet. You've got him. You've got like curtain. Then at least some time has been taken. You know, there's some care being done. So that usually we'll say overall the art isn't bad.
Yeah. Well, no, the art is fine, right? It's like serviceable. I also need the story to
Oh yeah.
be more than serviceable. And I'm just, it's okay.
So
I'm
what would
not
be
like,
your top 4 X-Men titles right now?
oh, I don't have a top 4 X-Men titles right now. You know, I
So
mean, if you ask me to pick, I'm going with Storm and Phoenix.
Storm and Phoenix.
Yeah. You know,
I really
Phoenix.
really like Storm. I think that's, especially the last issue, I really liked it. That story is really good.
Yeah. Look at this. Never heard that metric before. Checking the detail of the art in the smaller panels. I love that too. There are some artists who I have known who will draw everything full size, right? So that it will have all these magical details and Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And then they'll just shrink it down later, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, that's insane. And like, I was inspired. And I'm like, and I think you're amazing.
Yeah. Like, I just look at it as, and I don't really ever blame the artist, not entirely. It's more to me like, Marvel and DC especially, they're corporations. So
Yep.
if you're a struggling artist and you get the tap to do a Marvel book like X-Men, and you say, well, I should be able to do it in X amount of time, you might have to cut corners because you need to work. So you're not given enough time to fully do everything. So that's what I can consider to be a little bit of a marker for, is the person given enough time to do what is their best work in the book? And with a panel like that one, you can tell, like, you might not like the art overall, but at least you could say, well, it appears they've been given the best amount of time to do their best work.
Yes, and I find that in Wonder Woman with Daniel Samper, they were given a 6-month lead on that book, and it shines all the time as a result.
Yeah. Now, which one would you take? That's another good question. The Wonder Woman run right now, or the absolute Wonder Woman run?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I was like, don't give me Sophie's Choice. I'm ready. I'll be like, nope, keeping this one. Gotta go. Sorry, kid. I'm gonna cry every night about it.
Yeah, I'm really, really liking Wonder Woman recently. Every issue seems to get better with it.
Yeah, my pick of the week last week was both Wonder Women. Yeah. Both of these were my pick of the week last week. So yeah, I absolutely, and and it's very rare that I pick up multiple copies of anything.
Yeah.
But I did. So that was excellent stuff for our pick of the week. Let's see now. Woo. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Wonder Woman's fire. He knows the baby he's keeping. Yes, I do. Tom King is king. Who knew this guy? Yeah, she is. It's funny because, like, I don't love everything by Tom King, and I do feel even writers suffer from editorial oversight, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So I don't love everything, but I will give it to him. On his personal stuff, knocks it out of the park, right? And this, where he and the artist were given lead time to tell a story together, right? And I think not everyone is we don't all look at this medium with the same criticism, right? But some of us do, where who are these people as storytellers, as writers, and as artists? And I think you need that artist-writer storytelling combo, right? Like, I feel like that's what made classic Claremont amazing. And even Jim Lee Claremont amazing, right? Because Jim Lee's an extraordinary talent, but he knew how to make it come to life on the page too.
Yeah.
Izzy, I agree with Cliff. King's Wonder Woman is becoming an all-time classic icon run that we've talked about for years. I hope so.
And one of the things that you like as well as I do is, if you read a lot of Marvel, which I do, they seem to be stuck in this like 5 or 6 issue arc style, and Wonder Woman is not doing that, which is great. It's so refreshing to read a story where something happens and then it pays off later. It's just good.
Synergy is the word I'm looking for. Yes, thank you. So by the way, I know it's not clear, but yeah, they are doing the 6-issue arc thing. It's just very subtle how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Like the issue with Diana in mourning and the birth of her child, that is clearly the closing of an arc. While at the exact same time, not deliberately being the closing of an arc.
Right. Yes. And that's the difference that I'm talking about.
And that's like, as you said, that's real synergy, right? That like, hey, this is our drop point for the trade, but clearly we're not done yet, right? And it's just like they really do this great story about Diana, her friends, her suffering, her trip to the underworld, you know, her decision to have this child, and all of that, you know. A lot of people in the chat talking about the Vision series by Tom King, and yes, it's definitely one of his best works. Also, I don't think there was a lot of editorial. There wasn't any bad. There's editorial oversight, and there's good and there's bad, right? Yeah. I don't think there was any bad editorial oversight involved. I think it was like, yeah, just do Vision, and it was like, yeah, Vision family.
Yeah, because who cared about Vision then when he did that, right? It wasn't until later.
Yeah, exactly. And I still love what they did with it. When Steve Orlando had Viz appear in Scarlet Witch as someone who needed Scarlet Witch's help, I love it. And I love the fact that like Scarlet Witch was like happy to help her. Yeah. You know? Like, you know, she's just like, with all the convoluted feelings that can be attached to it, she's like, yeah, let's figure out what's happening with you. And of course, Viz was being tormented, I think by Nightmare's daughter. I can't remember her name because we haven't seen her in a long time, but like that was the big reveal, you know. It was really great. And Steve Orlando doesn't get enough credit. He's another one. I know he's not like, we're not gonna do like masterclass writing or anything, but I feel he can deliver. Yeah. Let's see. It was heartbreaking to see Vision realize he could never be human, because to be human means to be grossly imperfect, and he could not compute. Oh. If only the emotion chips meant more.
Yeah.
All right. I got a real. No, I think all right. It is going to be time for 42 minutes after. All right. We're going to get into our next segment. And that is going to be our It's our BussyBuster segment. And this week, why do I keep hitting the wrong button? This week, so this is like a tragic story. And Shane, you know, you're with me on Wednesday night, so you're already familiar with this. I bought this book to round out the shipping charges for my purchase that ended up being canceled because of an eBay sale. So I ended up with this book that I only kind of wanted, but just turned out to be a great pickup overall. And I ended up with it free because it was complicated and they refunded me all my money. And it's Adventure Comics 432.
Oh, yes.
Now, I don't know why this issue says The Spectre Returns, because he clearly returned the issue before this, because I recently picked that issue up for myself. But this actually, multiple online people have noted this as The Spectre Returns to Adventure Comics. Okay, maybe the other story was a reprint and I was unaware. It didn't seem like a reprint to me. And I looked through the notes. It looks like the last issue is where it came back. But it is a great issue. Also, it's one of the best covers.
Oh, I love that cover.
I love this cover. It is so freaking cool. It is a great book.
I love Spectre. I'm so looking. I had a chance to buy his first set, like 1 to 10, but I just couldn't pull the trigger at the time with the money. But I know that this year sometime they're coming out with Omnibus or Absolute or whatever. It's collecting basically all of the Spectre stuff, so I can't wait for that to come out.
Well, we'll see. It's so weird. I have such a struggle with the Omnibus. Mostly because I already have enough issues with space because of comics, you know? So it's a whole thing. Yes, Queen. I need a good BussyBuster. So do I. So do I. And I do tend to like Canadians for some reason.
We're just very nice people.
That's one thing. Certainly Ottawa needs to deliver more meat, because last time I was there, you know, the apps were not. It was not the best display. Let me tell you. We got a wow from Mr. Spock. Gem of Power was great. Absolutely. A power on Batman. Everyone knows a power on Batman. Everybody. I think we gotta let the love shine for the other comic books. We gotta let the love shine. You know. All right, Shane, what is your pick?
I don't know. I've got a few books here. Now, how would you pick a Bussy book? What would be your definition? That one I'm saving for later.
My literal definition, it has always been, I'm so excited to acquire this book. I was quaking down to my asshole. So that's the official statement from Clifford Comics.
That would have to be this one then.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And a 4.0. Wow.
I mean, I love Ghost Rider. We've already talked about that part of it. And
hold it up one more time.
You know, I had to pick up this book.
Beautiful.
And I am now one issue away from complete. I have all of the Marvel Spotlights.
Wow.
And I'm one away from having the first volume run. And it's not even a important issue. It's just issue 17. I just haven't been able to find it yet.
It's just there.
It's just one that's causing that line in my CLZ.
That's brutal. Wow. First Ghost Rider is amazing. And you know, it's funny how like a 4.0 based on age can shine, right?
Yeah. Oh, and I think it looks great. Like that's you mentioned it earlier, just about, you know, just buy what you love. Like, to me, like the grade doesn't matter too much. Like I think it looks great. I love pulling this slab out and just going, the first Ghost Rider book is in my hands right now.
Yeah, I know. I just like I love it. Could never find that dumb book. It's not important, but I could never find that book. Oh, wait. That was Defenders 24 for me forever. Oh, yeah. No, I understand. Quaking down to my asshole should be a t-shirt. When I find a new shirt place, it's going on. It's going in there. You know, I'm so glad you asked, because Shane, you have no idea how many times in the past people are like, I wasn't sure what you meant by BussyBuster, and then I Googled Bussy, and I'm like, oh no! I'm like, why didn't you just ask me? You should just ask me. Oh my god! So all I'm thinking is just the outrageous imagery that like came up and horrified people, you know, or just like Google AI being like, "Bussy is a vulgar term for the male anus." And
oh, that's awesome.
That's another T-shirt I should have. Just ask me.
Yeah. That is good.
Oh my goodness, that was great. All right, that's going to take us over to my favorite. Oh, also, by the way, Ghost Rider's first appearance also deserves a little something special. All right, had to get that out of the way. All right, so that is going to move us into my next favorite segment. Rate it or hate it, which of course today is once again brought to us by Cover Price. Yes, Cover Price, home to that wonderful top 10, to shakers and makers and so much more. Cover Price almost covers all your needs. They have a great retrospective. You can catalog your collection through the CLZ app over there. You can financially rate your collection, document your spending, document pricing, all of that stuff. Because like it was really funny. It was trying to tell me that the best comic in my collection was like this Avengers book, but like it was judging it on a 9.8, and I'm like, I own a 4.5. So I had to manually put in what I paid for the 4.5 to like drive it to where it should be. Very interesting. But still, despite my small criticisms, they're doing great work and they're improving all the time. And no one is paying me to say this. So I stand by that.
I was just going to say, I'm not paid by either of them. And I can tell you that Cover Price and CLZ, I've used CLZ since you didn't have to pay monthly for it. And CLZ I started once they could link. I use them all the time. I love them. I use them in my video to put up the little picture beside me. I just do it as an overlay and screen record it because it'll sort them by whatever you want. So yeah, I use it all the time. All the time. I love them. They're great. And both of them will answer any question you have or concern like almost within an hour.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty great how quickly it is. It's funny Lady Fantastic mentions the first Supergirl run because it's only about 11 issues, and I got the last issue as a birthday gift. So I was just absolutely in shock. So one down and 9 to go because I own one other part of the series. Cover Price is great. Good guys. They are good guys. They're good. All right, so the retrospective. This is from the year 2020. I love it because, oh, how things have wildly changed from then to now. So, Shane, it's rate it or hate it. If you hate it, we pass on it. If we rate it, you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Or, sorry, 1 to 5. 1 to 5, only 5 people. Where 1 is, okay, this is clearly for somebody out there, and a 5 is like, this is a must-have for any collection. And let's begin with bum, bum, bum. Morbius, the Living Vampire #1 from Marvel 1992. This was the first time Morbius had returned to comics in about 10 years since he was struck by lightning on the pages of Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and cured of vampirism. Sir, do we rate it or hate it?
I hate this one.
Oh, wow. Do you really?
Yeah,
Shocker.
because this book, because I'm trying to work on my ASM run, and that silly movie has caused that book to go up so much that I keep on having to pass on it. So when I found out about this book, I'm like, God damn, Morbius.
I know, but look, it's taken a significant drop over time.
Yeah, I have at least one copy of this too. So
I definitely have at least one copy of it. That's for sure. Double bagged, of course.
Of course.
All right, we're gonna skip right along to a favorite of mine that I hope you don't hate. The Savage She-Hulk #1. So, of course, back in 2020, it was part of the must-have collection because the series has historical significance, and the excitement around Tatiana Maslany's portrayal of She-Hulk on Disney Plus was at a fever pitch. Oh, how foresight was dangerous then. Lady Fantastic gives it an A+.
I'd rate it. And
all right, what are we rating it?
I'd do 3.5 if I can. If I can't, I'll take 3.
All right. Well, 3.5.
I have this book. I like it. I think it's great. I thought She-Hulk was a very cool character. I have read the Byrne run. I have a lot of those issues. And I thought the show did a few things really cool. I think some people just didn't read She-Hulk, so they didn't get it.
Yeah, they clearly did not understand what they were walking into.
Yeah.
Also, perhaps the special effects should have been a little bit better. I actually still like the series overall.
Yeah.
Oh wow, from COVID peaking that too. I'm giving the Savage She-Hulk #1 a 5. I feel like this is a must-have. It's a great time to buy because everyone's forgotten about it, and the show got many Rotten Tomatoes thrown at it. So this might be it. You know, and men were not there for the fourth wall ass, which is hilarious because men show up for the fourth wall ass of Deadpool. Is it sexism or latent homosexuality? Don't know. All right. Also, maybe the writers could have read some comics and not just trolled comic fans. There is a blend of that. But Zeb Wells did write episode 7, The Men's Retreat. I always want to point that out to people because I think that episode is kind of brilliant and not enough thought goes into that. She-Hulk good. I was
actually thinking the other day I'm going to have to watch that series again just all at once.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I did enjoy it. And this is definitely a good time to pick up that book. So it was really only rated a 3.5 because I don't know what's coming next. So I want to have some room to really throw down a good rating.
Yeah. No, that's okay. It's okay. We can have more than 1.5. It's all right. It's all right. Now, speaking of a controversial turn, Eternals #1 by Rick Berry from Marvel in 2006. Obviously, the expectations in 2020 were high for the Eternals, and that's why this made the list. Do we rate it or hate it?
Oh, this is a tough one because I own this and have read it, and I didn't mind it. I would rate it. I'd give this one a 2 because if you're an Eternals fan, you can definitely pick up all these books right now very easy, and
in dollar
there is some good runs there.
I'm agreeing. I own it, but well, yeah. Neil has really made a freaking mess for himself.
Yeah,
but I enjoy his work, and I can't deny that. And also, if it's coming out of the dollar bin, I feel less guilty. I just feel less guilty when it's the dollar bin. Because I know he's not making a profit from it, and I don't have to look at his face, which I've gone on about this before.
That's a good point, because if you're buying it from a dollar bin, you're getting it from a local shop. There's no money going towards him, and you're getting rid of it so no one else can buy it.
Okay, so everyone keeps mentioning Gaiman, and apparently Cover Price knows what's up, so in their retrospective, they removed his name from this. That is fantastic.
Interesting.
Very interesting. But also, I guess I could understand why. Moving on to something less controversial that you may very much enjoy. Let's figure it out. It's Peter Parker, Spider-Man, #4 from 1999. Rate it or hate it?
Oh, rate it for sure.
I knew it.
I'd give this one a 4. I mean, I like the cover. I like the art. This run was fun. I enjoyed it. All those 90s Spider-Man, I think they're okay. And I have all the Spectacular Olive Web. I have pretty much every other series except for ASM. I'm working my way down through those. So, yeah, that's good classic 90s Spider-Man right there.
I'm going to give it a 3 because not only is it classic 90s Spider-Man, I love that it's a small key. This is the first appearance of Luxius, who is also, or Losius, however you pronounce it, better known as the Hunger. And I don't think anyone's really looking for this book. So small keys all the way,
Yeah, and I've always liked Marrow. I thought she's a great character.
She is. I don't feel that this is a place where she particularly shines, but, here we are.
Are you reading Mystique?
Yeah, she's up in there. She's up in Mystique. I'm glancing at Mystique. You
know what? It's a book that I keep wanting to drop every month, and I just finished reading issue 4, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm buying the next one now.
Right? You're like, I'm back in again every time. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm with it on a 3. Now, the next one is also the victim of its time from 2020, and that is The Eternals #1 from in 1976, the Marvel run. Rate it or hate it?
Rate it. I'd give this one a 4 as well, because again, it's a classic book, and it's so cheap right now that if you were like, I know Rob is trying to do a whole run of these, and he's doing it at the perfect time because there's no better time to buy these books. And you know what? I have to watch the movie again, but I don't remember really hating it when I watched it. So
I do not hate the movie. I think people were not down for what that movie was. but whatever. It is unfortunately what it is. And the worst thing that they did, was they did not follow up on it. Right?
Yeah.
They were just cowardice. It was like, oh, this movie didn't perform to our peak expectations, and they shifted gears, and they shouldn't have. Also, don't even get me started on them in the Blade movie. Just give us a man killing fucking vampires. That's it. That's all you need. Do that, Marvel. That's it.
They've done it 3 times. Why can't they do it again? I don't understand that.
I have no clue. You have everything in the universe at your disposal to knock it out of the park, and all you need is a guy killing vampires, and you let Deadpool 3 do it better.
Yeah.
And there were no vampires. There you go.
And
that's it. This is about the
Mahershala Ali? Is that how you say his name?
Mahershala Ali, yes.
Man, he's so good too. Like he'd be a really great Blade. And I don't get it. Like whatever, like take the momentum that Deadpool 3 was, and with the character, right? Everybody was happy to see the character. Make the friggin' movie, man. I don't know.
I don't know either. But that said, I give this a 4 as well. I just found the movie boring. I dug Salma Hayek. I always dig Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
But yes, Eternals, great time to buy. Highly recommend. It's a 4. Ooh, the next one is a biggie. Ultimate Fallout number 4, the first appearance of Miles Morales. Rate it or hate it.
Well, we got to rate it.
Yeah, we do.
I give this one a 5.
5
my thoughts on this one are that, again, talking about Marvel and kind of misuses, Miles is an excellent character, and Miles, to me, lets Marvel have Spider-Man be young and lets Peter Parker evolve a little bit. And I love the Spider-Man book, the 2 of them together. I just think is untapped stories of 2 people helping each other, and they don't do enough with it. And same with Miles. Like I really like his latest. The last few issues of his run have been really, really good. Where he's been.
I think his whole run. I think this run of his whole run has been great.
Yeah, I just wish they would do some more with them. Like he seems to be missing like a really great villain that's like that keeps coming back, kind of like Spider-Man has.
Bobby Station.
But I do have this one. This is in my pile to be sent for grading. Actually, Bleecker pressed this one for me, so it's going soon.
I'm terrified to send mine in for grading. I think about it constantly, and I'm like, I may take a chance on it this summer if Mark Bagley returns to Terrificon. I may just have him sign it and do a CVCS slab, authenticated on the spot. And then whatever grade I get. Well, wait, one more time.
The CBCS slabs are great.
I love them.
When you hold them in your hand, you know that they're solid. I showed this one off with only slabs. This is my copy that I read and abused, and Mr. Claremont signed for me. Awesome.
Beautiful.
The height of Titanness. I brought out all kinds of Titans for you today, too.
Ooh, we got Titans of the thing. But yeah, I love it. And I love whatever it is they got going on the black ink that makes it like that sheen, that raised ink.
Yes.
And you're the one who pointed it out that it's only on the 8.0s. And then I looked, I was like, it is only on the 8.0 or the 9.8s. What am I saying? 9.8s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very, very happy.
Yeah. And I didn't notice that until I was looking at them, but yeah. Lady F, I've got 2 of these. I've got another one that's not graded. So if you can't find one, then let me know.
All right. The next one I know you're going to want to rate because it's Amazing Spider-Man 101, the first appearance of Morbius.
Of course it's on the list. I'm going to... I hate it, but I'm going to rate it. And I only hate it because it's expensive for me to get. But, I mean, I'll rate it and I'll give it a 4. Because it is a classic introduction of an awesome character. and just because the movie wasn't, excellent, but I don't know. I love the cover. I love the character. Spider-Man, 4 arms, really good. I only hate it because I don't own it.
Yeah. For me, it's a 5. Classic character, classic villain, classic story, classic everything. None of us are getting any younger. If you're going to splurge on something, this is absolutely splurge worthy. I just, every time I see it, I have a little sploosh. I mean, like, what is there else to say? Spidey's fighting a living vampire. Come on. Look, one of my favorite books. Absolutely. Look at this. Yes, Cliff. Yes. Thank you. This is a 5. Like, this is like, if you can find a good copy of this raw and you're not spending $500, it's like, wake up and get it.
Yeah, I would definitely do that for sure.
Oh my goodness. All right. Next up is very, very, very interesting. The next one is one that has always been on my radar. It's an Avengers issue with many firsts of it. Okay. We get the origin of the Kree, Mantis, some background details on Vision. It also features the first appearance of Hotati, the alien race. We recently saw them show up in the Marvel series Empire. So all sorts of stuff going into this issue, and it's Avengers number 133.
Oh.
Rate it or hate it?
I'll rate this one. I don't know a whole lot about it. I think I have, is it 141 where Perez takes over the art? I have that one.
Yep.
But Avengers was a book I didn't really get into. I was more into Spider-Man and Teen Titans. So I'll rate it. That's a lot of first appearances, so I'll give that one a 4.
Yep. I'm biased. I'm going to give it a 4. I feel the entire Mantis era, the whole, especially Celestial Madonna, nobody seems to know what I'm talking about when I bring it up. They made trades of Celestial Madonna multiple times. I mean, like, it's really funny because peak Avengers history happens in the title during these issues that nobody seems to talk about. And yeah, Lady says it's not a massive key. It isn't a massive key. Did I rate this already? No. But yeah, I'm giving it a solid 3 because Cliff is my only Celestial Madonna. Oh my gosh. I appreciate you. But yeah, like this is like my, in my heart, this is like my Avengers. So like, I really want to give it a 5, but like, so yeah, go look up the Avengers Celestial Madonna. You can find the trade. You could go pick up the issues. I really like that era. It's not the size of the key, it's what it unlocks. Yeah, baby. There you go. But yeah, this one's a 3 for me, but clearly among my favorites. Next up, not among my favorites, but maybe for many of you out there, it's Star Wars: The Rise of Kylo Ren number 1. Rate it or hate it?
I'll rate it.
Okay.
I haven't read this book, but I will rate it just based on the character. I'll give this one a 3. I thought Kylo Ren was an awesome character when he first hit the movies. So amazing, like the helmet, the voice. It had all the cool Darth Vader vibes and the saber. Really, really cool. So just based on that, that's what I'll give it.
Very nice. I'm giving it a 2. I love when CJ and I agree on something. Got a lot of fake Darth Vader out of this guy. Yeah, I'm with Taylor. Wasted potential. That's
definitely
why it's
wasted potential for sure. 100%.
And that quickly leads us into the number 1 spot from January of 2020. And that was Star Wars Kylo Ren number 2.
Oh, really? That's surprising.
Yeah. The heat of issue 1 reverberated into issue 2. And of course, the Knights of Ren were like a big deal. And everyone thought it was going to be a really big deal. And as we know,
They showed up
maybe
for
it
like 10
wasn't.
seconds and
Yeah.
yeah.
10 seconds. Yep.
Yeah,
Rated or
I
hated.
pass on this one. I don't know anything about this book, so I don't know if it has anything in it that's a key or not. But
No, listen. I'm so ready to hate it. I'm with you.
yeah,
I'm with you. All right, and that concludes my one of my favorite parts of the show.
that's fun.
By the way, I don't know what it is about StreamYard and you, but it does not matter what show you are on. When anyone cuts to the preview and it mutes the mics, we can still hear you every time, Shane. I don't know what devil magic you're working over there.
Well, I'm using maybe it's the wireless mic thing. Maybe.
What? Right? Maybe it's like StreamYard's like, I don't know what his microphone is made of.
I'll have to remember that. I'll just silence myself.
No, it's so funny, so funny. But yeah, I've noticed it on New Comic Book Day, and now it's happened here, and I'm like, what?
I'm usually the common denominator in any problem.
That's okay. If you're going to be the common denominator for a problem for me, I'm going to be happy it's you. Unless we're in like some kind of strange post-apocalyptic situation, then it's got to be brutal. Got to be brutal. StreamYard cannot contain Shane's power. It's true. He is like what, 6'3" or something?
Yeah. So we were talking about that because you're what, 6'2"?
I'm 6'3".
You're 6'3". We're probably pretty close then, I'd say.
Yeah. And I'm really into symmetry and geometric shapes.
Well, one day we can hope to stand back to back and clarify exactly that.
Back to back isn't exactly what I had in mind, but we'll see. So also we'll need the other tall Canadians involved too. Not that I'm picky. We're just the Canadians of my choice. Canadian power, yes. It's funny. It is funny that you are Izzy's co-host and you're Canadian. Izzy's Puerto Rican, and I am Canadian and Puerto Rican. I do think that I really appreciate the symmetry there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is. It's fun, and of course I like to think that it was my family that brought Puerto Rico to Ottawa. It was around 2005. We were there for one of my cousin's weddings, and like we heard Spanish music for the first time in public, and we're like, "Who's playing that? Where are we?" Like, we're like, "Look, it's other Latinos." Oh my God, good stuff. All right, Shane, you were given a homework assignment. Are you ready, sir?
I hope so. I don't know. Let's see.
All right, it's time for the 5-finger shuffle. All righty, your assignment, 5 comics or trades or whatever of your choice, theme of your choice, sir. Where do we begin?
Oh, I didn't know I could use trades. That's good. Thank you. Well, I'm going to start with, I have two trades that I'll start with, and I can go grab them to show you if you haven't heard of them. First up, probably one of the best books I read in 2024. I think it crossed over into the 23 and 24, but The Madness.
Oh.
Have you read that one?
I am aware of it.
Okay, let me grab it.
So for those of us who don't know, The Madness is a bit of a thriller comic. It's by J. Michael Straczynski, who of course is legendary and infamous as a comic book writer. It's a tale of vengeance. Sarah Ross has been using her power as a thief, stealing for the rich and keeping it for herself.
Yes, and this is the trade.
There you go.
Had really cool art by, I don't know how he says it, but Aiko.
Yep.
And they did some cool like band covers. So there was a Misfits homage one that was really cool. I'm going to find a good page to show you kind of the... And it starts with a kind of on a really sad note. That gives you an idea there of the art.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Very cool. I love their art. And my second one would be, this completely surprised me when I read it, and I missed the boat on it. I ended up being able to get some of the reprints, but Beneath the Trees.
Yeah. Beneath the Trees was great.
Oh,
Goodness, that bear, what was she doing?
I I read it and I had no idea. I just had heard people kind of talking about it, and then when I was in my comic shop, they were talking, and I saw it, and I'm like, "What's this Beneath the Trees thing?" He's like, "Oh, dude, like people are all over this book. Like I can't even get number one is already worth this. Number two, like I'm like, oh, all right, well I'll check it out." And I bought issue 3, and I was like, "What is this? What is happening? This is so good." So yeah,
Like,
I loved it.
you're reading issue 1. What are you doing to this dog? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I had to go back and reread it to figure it out. And then what else?
No.
So this is a recent one that I was very happy to add that I just picked up recently. I have a couple of those. Is this one?
Yes.
And it's in great shape. I just obviously, I've always liked the cover, but Doom stuff has been so hot recently. It's been tough to get near it, but this was a good price. And for a black rimmed cover, it's like really great shape.
Yeah, as it should be.
Then the other one that was recent that I picked up that just stands out to me is this Amazing Spider-Man cover.
Wow.
Very classic. It's 107. I love the green.
It's part of the Clone Saga, is it not?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I know it pretty well.
And yeah, just I love the green and yellow at the top and then just how he's kind of breaking out of the panel as well, and just kind of really stands out. These kind of older covers like this, they were on the spinner rack. They wanted to be picked up, so they had to be good, and this one is really good.
Love that. It's a great one.
And what else? Well, I'll show you this one just because I know we both love Titans, and this will be the last one.
It doesn't have to be the last one. I'll allow you to break the rules.
Oh, great.
You didn't know about the trades. The trades are just going to be bonus.
Okay. So this one.
Nice.
And this is, I got to meet George Perez. I talked about this one, I think, on Only Slabs too, but this got to meet him and talk with him. He signed a bunch of books. He was so friendly. And it just, I remember this coming out and buying it and just being blown away by kind of the painted cover. Eventually I'll get like a 9/8 of this just to have in my collection personally, but I just love that cover. The Titans, I don't know about for you, but it was kind of the first book for me that I was picking up, and I wanted to try to get all of them. Like I was reading Spider-Man, but Spider-Man was, there was hundreds of them. So it just kind of seemed impossible to actually get all of them. Whereas Titans, it was like something that I could see them all. I just couldn't afford them all at once, if you know what I mean.
Yep. And Titans, along with like X-Men, were things that I was picking up at the same time. And all right, you know what? Okay, I am wrong about that issue being a part of the Clone Saga for Spider-Man. The issue I'm thinking of is Amazing Spider-Man 148.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's with Jackal and what's his name on the cover? Tarantula. And they're actually tossing Spider-Man off the bridge. Sorry, CJ. Thank you for asking. We got clarification. Rob TenSixtyThree Comics here, gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate you so much, Rob. Thank you so much. I had to do a double, apparently. My goodness.
Just blame it on me. It's fine.
Yes. Ian and Becca Comics, Comics Embraced, Brother John Comics, The Comic Chef, and House of L Comics. Thank you and congratulations on your member gifts today. Thank you.
It's very generous of Rob.
Very much so. Very much appreciated. Very appreciated.
And then this, another one. I love this cover. I'm not a huge Scotty Young fan, but I've kind of bought this before. I knew I was more a fan of just the awesome art on the cover. And this is one that it will be going away to CGC to hopefully come back. It looks very, very clean, a 9/8, I would hope.
Especially for a white cover. Those white covers and those black covers are just the worst.
Yeah. And this one's pretty clean.
They love to share their imperfections, those comics.
Yeah. And so one more, I guess, right?
Okay. Yep.
And this one has a funny story to it. If Bleeker's still here. So I sent this to, I picked this up. I love the New Mutants. I have the whole run.
You have to hold that thought because this is Cable's first appearance.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
So I had the whole run and I was going through to decide what to press and all that stuff. And so I sent it to Bleeker and he pressed it for me. And so I was going to pick them up and he's like, wow, man, like that's really awesome. You don't see Mark Jeweler ones very often. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, your first Cable there, it's a Mark Jewelers. I'm like, it is?
That's amazing.
I didn't even know. So I have him to thank for that. And this is a really nice copy of this book too. Like it should get at least an 8.5.
I hope so.
Ideally.
I hope so. We all know that I'm a fan of 7 or better. Oh my God, that was great. All right. So Taylor asked us, and I'm with Taylor, what is the theme of the books you've shared with us?
So I guess the theme would just be really great reads and first appearances.
Okay, first appearances and great reads. I'll take it. The choice was yours, so it's fine. Yeah. All right. That's bringing us to our end, and our end means the membership wheel. I've plugged these are all the January memberships.
Look at how good that looks.
Right? And what is in the members hall for January? It's the etched foil. I guess I should be big for this. The etched foil Justice League Unlimited featuring Swamp Thing and Batman. I think this is issue number
2, 3.
I think it's issue 3. All right. Incredible Hulk Legacy issue 802 featuring
that's a good one too.
Yep. New Gods number 1 from the new series. New Gods number 2 from the new series. This is the acetate cover. Acetate cover. Just for fun, this Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones, just because I like pink. Ultimate Wolverine number 1. Eddie, this is oh my God, why am I forgetting his name?
Oh, yes, it's that guy. Now,
nope, I love him and it's not coming to me.
On the spot now, I can't remember it.
All New Venom number 2, Rivals edition.
Ooh, very fancy.
Amazing Spider-Man 65 Rivals.
Rivals covers.
Yeah, and Magic number 1 Rivals.
Wow.
So
Cliff, that's very generous. That's a wicked prize pack.
It's amazing, and our members deserve the love. They truly do. All right, it's time. Shuffle. Oops, sorry. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Woo! And spin. Oh, sugar! It's Mad Spidey. It's going to Australia. Oh, my God. Spidey, make sure you reach out to me. And we'll start making arrangements, whether I send it directly to you or Rob or however you'd like me to do it. Let's make that happen. Good Lord.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. I'm shaking from shipping. Oh my goodness. Well, there you have it, folks. Next month, I'm going to try and keep it spicy and interesting for all of you folks. And February is a short month, so I'm gonna try and make it interesting. I'm gonna see what I can do. Cliff is sending it down under. I know my place down under, so we'll see. All right, that's it, folks. Thank you for joining us for Comics and Coffee. Our fabulous guest, Shane. Cliff's shipping anxiety just shot through the roof. Absolutely. Don't forget, go over to Comiverse, check out his channel. Tony's doing cool stuff over there. He loves comics like the rest of us. Show him some love. And today at 2:30 p.m., you head right over to Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics for Only Slabs, featuring Tony from Comiverse. He's first appearance. It's gonna be great. And of course, as always, you have chances to win something fabulous from Rob's prize box on Only Slabs. Jay says, thank you for being here, sir. We appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate Shane, especially with the last minute changes in our addendum. And I don't know who's gonna be here next week. We're gonna find out. And in 2 weeks, Brian LCS, and we're gonna talk about his second issue of The Doctor. It's going to be great. So I will see you all then. Thank you all for the love. Peace, and see you next time.
Thank you, Cliff. Thank you.
Thank you.